The VT1 is a bit fast, and I like the way his triggers work, but it's definitely weird. I wish every trigger worked that way, actually. I like that you can like get him down to 2 trigger uses if you beat him up. And he can't really burn it all in one go. But he could potentially get like 4 trigger uses if he stalls. Does he have, I didn't know that. Does he actually have a way to do like minus into trigger attack and then it like leaves like a 2-frame window or something like that? I'm sure he has that actually, but I hadn't really thought about it. I think if he does his TCs into it, it's just a true block string, right? Ooh, see, that's pretty cool. Sweep I can see being pretty good. None of those are that crazy. It's just like kind of like a trap. He has to bet a trigger use on hoping you hit a button. Close fierce. Oh no, Dudley. Oh, just meaty snare house. Probably going into short swing blow, I would guess, to catch someone doing wake up parry. He's very solid. I think once you learn the matchup, he doesn't change that much, to be honest. Like, there are a lot of... SF5 doesn't have a whole lot of not solid characters, but I feel like Luke is particularly solid even among them. Yeah, his combos are really strong. He has, like, balanced damage if you don't do the microcharge stuff. His Oki's a little bit lacking. You can kind of do weaker combos and have decent Oki, though. But they have to be kind of significantly weaker. You gotta do, like, medium charge punch ender. Or you've got to spend the bar and then go for the, no. Yeah, you've either got to do you've got to do fierce punch into medium wall bounce combos to get the tackle, or you've got to spend the bar and then do like spend the bar or get the light charge punch and then do medium charge punch. I definitely feel like he's good right out the gate, which is true for almost no DLC character in SF5. Love that combo. Too early. Oh, he went for big stuff. Super would work there. He might have been able to do stand strong uppercut super. Wow! What a bunch of nonsense. Dudley parried, hit like stand strong or whatever it was. It whiffed. Was it stand jab? And then Yang like canceled the parried normal, and Dudley recovered in time to block. Some nonsense. Yeah. They definitely designed his knuckles around trying to make VT2 work. They wanted there to be windows, but not giant windows. For what it's worth, I don't think it's so easy for him to get VS1 up. If he lands a combo, he can get it. But getting it in neutral, like, I don't know. It depends on what character you play. And whether you're actually trying to keep him out or not. Ah. HP Knuckle is only plus if it's level 2 or level 3. If it's level 1, it's not plus. It's -2, I think, normally. So it's still safe. Meaty stem, medium kick. Ooh. That combo's on crouching hit, I think. But it just didn't combo there. He parried twice expecting the TC, but there was no TC. Too low short since the super probably would have closed out the round. But Dudley started doing the low TC, and I think it was out of range. He checked his swing regardless. Dudley's cool. We were watching nothing but Ken and Yang last time, but now we got a Dudley. I like this white and cream. White and marshmallow. What do you call that color? White and cloud. Big damage. Dudley's actually not so popular in tournaments compared to the other 4 top 5. Come white. Is this snow? I think probably the shirt is snow. Cool anti-air and cool parry. Was that crouch jab, by the way? I feel like that was crouch jab and not crouch short. No, it's crouch short. I think crouch jab works there, but you would never use it because crouch short is a low and crouch jab isn't. He's pretty yeah, he's pretty popular in Fightcade and casual play. But there's like a sharp decline in Dudley's compared to like Ken's and Chun-Li's and Yun's and Makoto's in competitive play, I think. Nice parry, nice punish. I don't think it's anything about that. Well, it might be something about that. He kind of has a lot of the same advantages as Ken. But it's harder to play. Or more complex. Ugh. Nice block. That was probably a punish, not super strong. No, she cannot TOD everyone. Well, she can with 2 taunts. She can, but not with a command grab. That's a funny answer. I guess that's probably true, huh? Like jump right now, stand fierce, SA2. I didn't really think about that. I'm not even sure if that TODs everyone. It probably does. You'll like never see that though. She has to get a jump in and also be cornered after the jump in. You'll see it in very particular like parry punishes. Three taunt Q, yeah. She probably can't. She probably can't. 1-hit KO, 3 taunt Q. It's probably a character who's really hard to get, like double Fukiage on or some nonsense. No, 4 taunt Hugo still has noticeably less HP than 3 taunt Q. Even though Hugo starts with more HP. Just because his taunt is a lot worse than Q's. Smaller increases. They had them rendered as numbers on one website, and I think Hugo was like 18,000, 1800, and I think Q was 2100, something like that. So Q has like 7-6 Hugo's health when both of them are fully taunted. I think 3rd highest is like Gil, and then 4th highest is Chun-Li with taunt. Chun-Li with whichever one it is. Shoulder scratch. Reversal window in 3S I'm pretty sure is 1 frame, but don't quote me. It feels like 1 frame. Nice punish. Yeah. Look at me. Nice. Oh, not a great punish. He probably tried to cancel that strong uppercut or something. That should kill. Yeah. Beefy fucking jump in. That sounds grimier. At the absolute top level, it would probably be worse. Generally, it would be better. I don't know. Being able to land SA2 anywhere, that's such a big combo to be able to land. Having no safe range for that is kind of big. I don't know if there's truly a consensus on Makoto supers. I think SA1 is a smidge better. I'm a little bit... Well, as Oro, I'm naturally more afraid of SA1. It's easier for me to play around a command grab. And I can't get dizzied by her, like, mix. By her... Like, even if she gets double Fukiage, Oro doesn't get stunned. Neutral throw was, like, the single worst thing he could have done there. Yang was in a mix-up between instant parry and late parry. It looked like he just blocked, so who knows what happened. I never really thought about EX use for Makoto in terms of supers. But now that I'm actually thinking about it, like, she's only got the one multi-bar super. So if you want to be a Makoto who spams EX moves, you gotta go SA2. But, I mean, Makoto has, like... EX Fukiage is a meme. EX Dash Punch is quite good. EX Axe Kick is usually pretty mediocre. And Karakusa has no EX. So if you're playing a lot of EXs, it's just Dash Punch. Parrying during Gene is a very dangerous but occasionally useful idea. Parrying in normal almost does nothing for you. But if you parry a special move, you get a guaranteed punish. EX Orochi is kind of good. I forgot about that one. Alright, alright. 2 EX moves that are decent. If Makoto SA3 was like SF4, I feel like people might pick it. Where she just gets a smaller damage increase, but she doesn't really lose anything at all. That'd be kind of fun. Makoto SA3 is almost impossible to balance. That would balance it, but it wouldn't be as cool. I think it's fine how it is. That's one of the few SAs I wouldn't change. Making it stronger just seems horrible. Adding blocking removes its kind of cool gimmick. Or adding blocking, I mean. Is that what I said? That was the Maiden, I think. And then a reset. This reset adds almost no damage, but it significantly increases the meter that Yun gets back after the Gene. Parrying out of it is not very realistic, so young players can kind of go for it every time. The thing is, even if you get the parry, which is not very hard, Yun can just keep on making you land on attacks. Nice. Kind of poked with a fucking palm. This is a cool matchup. We like this one, right? We like every matchup with Urien, right? It's that Urien step kick, you don't see that very often. It's not a good move. Jab. It looked like it was too far away. I think that works on Urien. It might be corner only. Poking with EX Rekka is obviously very simple, but doing it well is pretty nice. I think a lot of Yang players wouldn't even think to do that. to use EX Rekka as like a whiff punish poke. So that was kind of nice to see. I would have EX there 100 times out of 100. If he EX there, he would have had Yuri and like 1 EX Rekka from being dizzy. Oh, cool idea. I think that was guaranteed to fail though because of the mirror. Oh, Urian didn't face the right way. I play on PC using Fightcade, which is what everyone should play on. It's not even a question. If you're trying to play online, I mean. If you're trying to play in person, I guess you should use arcade or arcade emulator stuff, but you know. Online edition isn't bad, but like Fightcade matchmaking is so much easier and faster. And also more people use it, I'm sure. Online edition is a fine port. Oof. It's a lot of damage to lose. That combo's still cool. Yang didn't quick stand there, he could have. But if he did, he would have had to block the Rose, so it didn't change much. Poking with low roundhouse should be illegal. You can just parry low roundhouse in reaction, on paper. Doing it in practice is pretty difficult, but it does work. If you're watching for Dudley low roundhouse and he does it, you can just parry it. And there's nothing you can do about that. So Dudley players, you know, will try and sneak it in. The truly terrifying thing is low short versus, oh, that, like, never works. What the fuck happened there? Or does that work on crouch? I don't think it does. Maybe it's just an execution error. That's a weird error, though. Low strong EX machine gun blow. No idea. Oh, he threw PS now. I have no idea. I used to play a lot of OE and it was stable. Trying to jump out. Oh, that was nice. Great anti-air. Another great anti-air. Still the player's killing it. He's real nice. Eagle, Maki, Ingrid, Yun. There were 5 of them. Plus I had all the console characters. Like T-Hawk and Fei Long, which I'm sure everyone wanted. I'm sure when people think of Alpha 3, they think of T-Hawk. Guile. I'm sure the first character people think of when they think of Street Fighter Alpha franchise is Guile. Ingrid's only on the PSP version. You don't even get her for upper. She was there. It would have been nice to have her actually be playable. I think one time I saw like someone, it was like some like top third strike or Alpha 3 player looked at Max and he like made Viazim combos for like Yun and Maki. And like everyone. There's like no resources on that except for this one time that I saw it. No one's ever bothered to make like Viazim combos for those guys. I hit that parry just recently. It's a very easy parry. The only difficulty is getting the first parry. I just had a flashback to one of the Santa Ana events where I was playing against the Q, and in the final match against him, he did an SA1, and I blocked it, and I red parried the last hit, then killed him. And he looked at me and he was like, "You didn't have to do that." And I was like, "No, I didn't." And then we shook hands. It was Q, so I was risking like nothing. Q versus Oro is a horrible matchup. I'm not saying I can beat every Q in the world, but it is very difficult to fight an Oro just, you know, as Q. I played, I think, Neem. I played someone weird recently, like some great player picked Q against me. I think it was Neem. And then, like, won. And I was like, holy shit. It's like the only time I've lost to a Q in, like, I don't know, a few years. I changed my title. You can't even make security breach jokes. I did change my title, right? Huh. Even if I change my title, people come at me like I didn't change my title. What's the point of changing it? Alpha 3 on Guilty Gear is borderline unplayable. If you're gonna play Alpha 3, that's like literally the worst way to do it. You would genuinely have a better time playing Killer Instinct on the original Game Boy than Alpha 3 on GBA. You'd have a better time playing Mortal Kombat 2 on the original Game Boy. I feel like there's at least one Game Boy fighting game that's halfway decent. Let me think about that. Final Fight 1. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was on Game Boy, I think, but I don't think it was a good port. It was called Mortal Kombat Advance, I think. And then I think there was also Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, or one of them. Oh yes, Metabots AX. There's a good fighting game on the GBA. Oh yes, Sonic Fighters. I think there was a Street Fighter 2 on GBA, right? There was definitely Alpha 3. I think there was a Street Fighter 2 Turbo or something as well. I don't actually remember. When did I get into fighting games? 2005. Sonic Battle, excuse me. Sonic Fighters was the fucking arcade game. Tournament Edition was Deadly Alliance. There were a lot of like loose attempts at 3D platformers on GBA, like the Spyro games, which were kind of like isometric, and Banjo-Grunty's Revenge. But there was actually an Asterix and Obelix game on GBA. Is that the name of it? I don't remember. That's like an actual real 3D platformer. And it's like, it's a sight to behold if you've never heard of that game. Go look up Asterix, Obelix, GBA footage, and you'll see like something that you probably wouldn't think would be possible on GBA. I would love to make a Game Boy game. I'll port my game to Game Boy when I'm done with it. Oh, the combat is looking great in my game. I almost want to show it off a little bit. I'm gonna make a combat demo pretty soon. We're gonna have a bunch of comms you can fight. For all the time I was working on my platforming in my game, I was like, no matter how much platforming I do, I still haven't even touched the combat. You know, and it was just like, you know, it was discouraging, I guess. Oh, he just had to finish that and he got dizzy. But now that we've done a lot of the combat, it kind of feels almost like I can see the end. I still haven't done anything graphically for the game. We're still using placeholder sprites for absolutely everything. But the combat itself is pretty fun so far. I could have a good time doing it. It's certainly miles better than the fucking original Prince of Persia combat. Street Fighter 4 3D might actually be the best. I mean, the first good. No, there was faithful ports of there was Tekken 5 on PSP, and there was Blaze Blue games on PSP that were good ports. And those both predated SF4 3D. I would say probably Tekken 5 on PSP was the first good handheld fighting game. Hi. I'm trying to incorporate fighting game concepts in the combat of my game, but I haven't ripped anything off yet. I could talk about that a little bit, but I don't know if people would be interested. Alpha 3 on PSP was fine. Alpha 3 on GBA was horrible. Alpha 3 on PSP might have predated Tekken 5 on PSP, actually. So maybe that's the first good handheld fighting game. Yes, I'm developing a game. Every time it comes up, people are alarmed. No, it's a platformer, but there will be combat. Ooh, hard to get. He got the hard... That's like legendary to get that whole combo. He had to do medium kick. Hard punch does more damage, but it didn't matter there. Medium kick's more reliable. He wanted close hard punch, but got far hard punch. He was just further away than he thought. The game I'm developing is called Until My Death, and it has its very own YouTube channel, if you search those 3 words in that order. It's just nothing but dev updates of me working on the game. It was DR. It actually predated the console DR. That was Tekken 5 Vanilla on PS2, then DR on PSP, and then DR on PS3. I've been working on the game since like 2019, I think. For the first like 2 years, it was very slow because it was just me working on it. And then this year, I hired a programmer, and then it sped up quite a lot. And by this year, I mean 2021, which is the current year, I promise. Nice. This footage that we're watching happened on this day 1 year ago. 2021, 1/15. We're exactly 1 year out of date on our Ultra replays. I remember when Acho would upload things, and I would be like, oh boy, now I can stream more Third Strike. Those were the days. I remember when we used to watch East vs. West. We could still watch that, I just watch Acho for some reason. I'm ambivalent. East vs. West tends to have more bad players, but the top players are still extremely good. Like at the very beginning of every East vs. West, you get some guy who like might not even know how to play. It's kind of fun. The tournament format of East versus West is super cool. I mean, we love that, right? That's something I kind of miss ever since online tournaments. That's like something that's gone. Is whenever there was like a tournament and like pools, like when you're up top 8 or top 16, it's just good play, you know? Everyone who's there like earned their place there. It's just killers. It's just a shark tank. Anyone in top 16 could often win, you know? Depends on the game. But when it's pools, it's just like they find a notable name. And it's just against anyone in the tournament. And you just have, like, you know, you just have Punk versus, like, Super Bronze Ken. And that's kind of interesting, too, I feel. He's dead. Stand strong? Yeah. Stand strong, EX Rekka. Skullzer, yeah. See, that only existed. That replay only existed because of pools. 801 Strider versus Skullzer is one of the best fighting game matchups of all time. If you've never seen that one, you should absolutely just fucking go watch that right now. Skullzer versus 801 Strider. It's legendary. Does Strider still play? I haven't thought about him forever. He played Abel in SF4. I think he played 5 for a bit. I don't think I've ever been like... I think I've been on stream like twice ever. Not counting Third Strike, obviously, because I've like won tournaments in Third Strike. But like SF4 and SF5, I just like drown in pools. And I don't even drown in pools versus like pros where it's on stream. One of my friends got his soul stolen by a nobody. He's not even a bad player, is the worst part. But it was an SF4, and he was on stream match 1 versus a Dan player. And he lost like 4 rounds in a row, and one of them was a perfect. And it was like a no-name Dan player. In SF4. SF4 Dan. Imagine that's the only time you're ever on stream. That's something you might not expect if you go into like fighting game tournaments. Is that like basically everyone just like you'll just lose, you know? Obviously every tournament has one winner and one winner only. But unless it's like a tiny local, you're just gonna get fucked up. You're just gonna go like 3-2 or 2-2 or 1-2 or 0-2, you know? I think the best I've ever done in a non SF3 tournament was 4-2, which is actually quite good if you actually do the math. Winning the first match puts you at better than half the players there. Winning 2 matches puts you at better than 75% of the players there. But I think I won 1, then lost 1, then won 2, or won 3, and then lost. And the wins and losers bracket count for half as much. Climbing through losers bracket is such a nightmare. Remember Luffy in SF4 Evo 2014? That shit was legendary. He went losers bracket round 1. And then won the entire thing. Won Evo with a full losers bracket run. How were the matches against Justin for me? You mean like lag-wise? It was lagless. Do you mean like morality-wise? Not morality, what's the word? Morally. No. Morale. What's the word for morale? How was it for my morale? I have no real expectation of beating Justin. He's one of the best players in the world. Even out of practice, he's amazing. And then it's a bad matchup. Like, he's played more Third Strike than I played. Probably a lot more. You know what I mean? And also, he's played a lot more fighting games, so his fighting game senses are way better. I mean, obviously I can beat him. I took one match. If I can win one match, I can win every match. But it's just whether I'm feasibly going to, no. I just need to be insanely lucky. I am sloppy versus Chun-Li. I don't get to fight Chun-Li very often, and I never lab anything in Third Strike. So, whenever I have to like do Chun-Li loops, I'm sloppy. Just because I never do them. Like for most characters, I have like several unblockable loops that I like alternate between based on their parry timing. But for Chun-Li, I only have one, and I fucked it up when I was fighting just in the recent time because I tried to switch to a different unblockable loop, and I didn't know a different one. I thought I knew a different one, but then it fell out because I didn't push him enough. That was a failed Kara. I wasn't like mad or anything. I have no like expectation of being able to beat Justin, and just most pro Chun-Li's, but like especially Justin because he's one of the better pro Chun-Li's. Outside of Japan, anyway. There are very few players on like Japan's level though. Justin's probably one of them. Like the top players in Japan, I mean. And even like the absolute top in Japan would probably just smash Justin. I probably would rather fight Chun-Li than Yun, to be honest. Ooh, very cool. Ugh. It was a bait. It was a bait. It was an elaborate bait. That was a terrible looking up kick, but it was all planned. I have no expectations for what Capcom's going to do of anything. They'll probably just announce Street Fighter 6 and that'll be that. I will say that most of the players who are better than me in Third Strike have kind of like devoted their lives to it, you know what I mean? I'm like on that cusp where if I want to be as good as them, I have to devote my life to it. When I think of the few players I've actually regularly play, I don't regularly play anyone in Third Strike because I don't regularly play Third Strike. But the few players I actually know of who can just beat me every single time I play them, like Exodus or Neem fucking Tenren. What is this? Or Justin. Justin lives and breathes fighting games in general, and the other three live and breathe Third Strike. I think. I don't know. They're on every time I'm on. So it just seems likely that they fucking play a lot. I don't want to say with a certainty. I don't know how much Neem plays. Maybe he doesn't play that much. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've devoted my life to fighting games, but not, like, getting better at them. Getting better at them has just kind of happened. It's more just analyzing them. Nice little combo. Oh, he went for it. It looked early. I mean late. It looked late. Most of the players I'm better than don't take fighting games as seriously as I do. So that's really all it comes down to. If you try to get better, you'll get better. If I truly want to get better at third strike, I just learn Yan. It's that easy. Of all the top tiers in the game, I think I'd gel with... Actually, maybe I'd gel with Chun-Li the best. I don't really want to do that, though. What if V-Trigger was like top? What if you could only use your trigger attacks when you're in the top portion of your health bar? And you could choose where it was. Yeah, top. From Garo. What if you started in V-Trigger, but if you lost too much health, you lost all of your fucking V-Trigger specials? I'm like really thinking about that top idea and how it would be. I don't think it's a good idea, but it's novel. I don't know where I would run my top. Most triggers are reliant on their timer. Alright, what if you could just activate V-Trigger whenever for 2 bars? What if they just took out the V-meter entirely and just made it 2 bars to activate trigger? You don't like that? You're talking about you don't want it to be a comeback mechanic. That would make it not a comeback mechanic. That would simply make it a resource, unless you consider supers to be a comeback mechanic too. Remember in Alpha 3 when you started with full meter? Why have they never done that again? Well. Ugh, was that deliberate? It's a very strange looking teleport, but everything else there was like maybe walk in, stand short. I'm just trying to think of ways to make an install not a comeback mechanic. And the simplest way to do that is to make the install cost bar. Just like work like every other install. What if you just started with full V meter? And you could just install whenever you wanted, like fucking X Factor. You just got one V-Trigger pop per match, and you can choose when you use it. I like installs. One of my favorite things about SF5 is that installs are such a central mechanic. I don't know if I'd call V-Triggers a universal install because everyone's unique. When I think of a universal install, I think of X Factor. That was Dead OS. It's like a perfect Dead OS. I think V-Triggers are an interesting install for every character. There's like 2 characters in SF5 who don't have an install at all. Are there even 2? I think everyone has an install now, right? There's a little period where some of them weren't really. Like, Mika, like, basically doesn't have an install. Oh yeah, a couple Trigger 1 Season 1 characters didn't have installs. Rashid as well. When they were added, they didn't have an install. Same with Mika, actually. I don't think there's any character where the other BT's an install. When's the last time you saw a VT2 Urian? That trigger's actually mad good too. Not as good as Mirror though. They have those? Damn. That trigger's super cool. Who is it? I feel like I should know. Oh, I've heard that, yeah. I think. Urian's VT2 probably got worse ever since V-Shift was added, actually. Still good though, I bet. It's not completely reliant or even partially reliant on the card break. It's fine, Galar. Just fucking V-Shift them. Ever since V-Shift was added, those triggers all got a lot worse. Optimal. It was like a fucking Yun combo almost. Unblockables in SF5 are probably the least offensive I've ever seen unblockables be. Functionally, they're just kind of combo extensions for a lot of them. It's like, oh, I got a crush counter sweep, and if this character has no escape, then I can just get a guaranteed unblockable, and then... Nonsense. There's tons of unblockables in SF5. They're all trigger attacks, I think. It'll be like a charge-up trigger attack, like Abigail, VT1 and 2. Blanca, VT1, has one. Yuri, VT2. Ryu, VT1. Yeah, Guard Crush. Alex VT1, that's probably the best one. Alex players don't really run that anymore. I think it's still good. Ever since VT2 was buffed, I've been seeing a lot of VT2 Alex. I think you can really go either way with the trigger and the skill with Alex. It's like entirely playstyle based. VT2 is a lot easier to use. Like a lot easier. Oh yeah, Honda VT1. That one's alright. That's pretty good. Whoa. Oh yeah, Chun-Li. Kikosho. Yeah. That one's really novel. V-Shift really was very late to the party. There are so many scenarios where like there used to kind of be nothing to do, and then it's now the answer is just V-Shift. The most obvious one is raw super and neutral. A lot of characters, if they didn't have an invincible reversal, raw super and neutral was just death. Most supers you can't jump out of in SF5 because they're too fast. There used to be like if you had a V bar, you could get out of a block string with a V reversal, block string into super with a V reversal, but you had to use an EX move for invincibility to get out of a super in neutral. If they just did raw super against you, and some characters don't have good invincible reversals. Like if it's like poison, it's like what the fuck do you do to get out of a fucking the opponent's super? And now the answer is V shift. Now the answer is one V bar no matter what, which makes a lot more sense and also is more consistent. Yeah, I basically did call V-Shift, but it was also fairly obvious. The way they did it was not the way I predicted they would do it. If I made V-Shift, I probably would have made it free. And I probably would have done something to make it not quite as good as it is. Not that I think it's super duper strong. I don't think it makes a huge deal if it's free. As long as it's more vulnerable, as long as you can actually get a decent punish on it if you predict it. Right now, it's every character can punish it, but not every character can kind of like not every character can punish it easily. I'm talking about backdash, because yeah, that's basically what I described. Yeah, B-shift duration is uniform. I want to say the distance is uniform too. SF4 backdash was shitty, no. I don't want SF4 backdash. Distance is not universal. I know that a lot of characters have a V-shift distance that's noticeably different from their backdash, but I thought that was because V-shifts were universal and backdashes were not. But I haven't like looked at everyone's V-shift, to be quite frank. Imagine a world with online training. You could have parried that. That attack is so slow that even if you're not expecting it, you can still just parry it on reaction. And you would never expect it because it's garbage. Online trading was a feature of a lot of modern fighting games. It's just training mode, but you can play it with someone else over the internet. SF4 had it. I think Mortal Kombat 11 has it, and maybe Mortal Kombat X, but I don't remember about Mortal Kombat X. Marvel Infinite had it. I couldn't tell you about games like Tekken or Guilty Gear. He tried to red parry that. Is that even a red parry? I think it is. I think SF5's training mode is one of the best training modes I've ever used. It's fantastic. There's almost nothing I can, like... There's almost no feature I can think of that's not in the game. It's like universally better than SF4's training mode. I can't think of a single way SF4's training mode is better. Did SF4 have frame advance? I don't remember it. Oh, that's a feature that could be added though. That would be nice. Huh? I just said it was fantastic and you said horrible in most. And now you're saying fucking... You don't even think that? I usually hear praise for SF5's training mode. It's good. I especially love ever since they showed the frame advantage. Being able to see the advantage and disadvantage on every attack is insanely helpful, especially in the context of the game, because SF5 is basically about that. Is whose turn it is. Just instantly know how plus everything is. It's basically like having in-game frame data. Wow. You should voice your own opinions instead of the opinions you think people want to hear, my guy. How is it not as good? I don't get it. In what way is SF5 training mode not as good as SF4? SF4 training mode is just like the same thing but with less features. I can't think of a single feature SF4 has that's better. Yeah, you cannot set reversal options in SF4, and that's a pain in the ass. You can only record a single sequence and not multiple sequences, which also means you can't have it randomized between multiple sequences, so you can't train yourself against mix-ups. It only has the player's numbers and not the opponent's numbers. There's a limit on how much you can record. And it's like pretty short, it's 10 seconds. Doing a restart takes forever in SF4 training mode, and it's instant in SF5. 5 does not have online training. But that's kind of like a different thing. It would be nice. That's one advantage in the sense of training mode that 4 has over 5. You can also you can use various settings to turn SF5's versus mode into like or training mode into a versus mode, which you can't do in SF4. Yeah, but they're shitty. You can't even reliably get a reversal. There's also no way to get reliable delayed reversals, whereas you can do that in SF5. What if you want someone to do like a delayed V shift? Or a delayed V reverse? You can also have it do delay. You can have it do reversal buttons. It doesn't have to be a special move, which is really important for testing frame traps and stuff. Like for example, Ryu can do reversal 3-frame jab, and you can create scenarios where the reversal 3-frame jab doesn't hit, or at least not on its first frame, so it becomes effectively a 4-frame normal. You've got stuff like that. I've played a decent number of fighting games, and legitimately SF5 is the best one I've seen so far. But I don't play like Tekken or Guilty Gear, fucking Dragon Balls. So I don't know how good they are. Beautiful. You'd love to see it. And then you drop the Live Strong's confirm. I don't know who any of these players are. Ken is mad good though. We've seen him on a lot of these recent things, and he's fucking invincible. He's like super duper good. Was that a stand strong link to super? Does that work? Wait, that was too far. 1, 2, 3. I didn't know that was a thing for close strong. I knew it was a thing for far strong. Is that meaty only, or does that just always work? I guess you would normally not do that just because you do the TC. That looked like a link and not a cancel. It might have been a cancel. I gotta look at it again. I'm pretty sure that was a link. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a Ken do that. This dude's pulling out all the weird shit. You ever seen a Ken player do Tatsu cancel to Shifu? That shit's funny. It's possible to do it just on regular hit, but the main reason you would do it is on parry, but you wouldn't even do that. It's more of a novelty that it even exists. No, it's possible. Oh, that roundhouse. Failed Kara. It's a horrible roundhouse. I've done Tatsu into Shifu before, but I had to do an extremely weird motion. I had to do a quarter circle back, like half circle forward, kick, kick. It was like quarter circle back, half circle forward, kick, quarter circle forward, kick, something like that. I had to do something crazy. Nice air to air. It's usually a pretty good reply whenever twins jump. You just jump too. Supposedly recent Ultra replays, like within the last few months, have had a really good aura on, but I haven't like looked. Damn, it's 6 a.m. Where does the time go? I feel like I just got home from work. I'm like the fucking Pepe with the fucking hands up and the clock in the background. That's me. Ugh. Is 2 p.m. the perfect time of day? Oh no, I forgot about 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is the perfect time of day. I'm literally the farthest I could possibly be from 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is perfect. You can have a nice dinner. It's a little bit cooler. Sun's going down. You're probably not tired. Fellas, what's the best time of day and why? Eating's nice, right? I feel like I'm the most hungry when it comes to dinner time, and I enjoy my dinner time meal the most. It's more like height dependent. It's range dependent situationally. No, it's just height dependent, I think. When Kens do the EX Fireball Shipu to get the juggle, the range is affecting when the fireball hits, basically, which is affecting what height the opponent's at when the Shipu connects. It also depends on your opponent's model. Different characters get juggled differently by Shipu. That's like the main factor. Oh, I've been in that exact scenario as the Ken. Hi. Damn. Just DP in neutral. This Ken play is being pretty aggressive with the parries. What a comeback. Ken had almost full health and Yang had that much. Yang just got 5 mixes in a row. Which is how many mixes it takes for Yang to win. It's 5. Allow me to think of the most obscure Dragon Ball character I can think of. So that I can ask if they're in the game yet. Can I play as Poir yet? No, I don't really plan to do bad balance for non-SF. I don't know any games well enough. I could maybe do it for Injustice 1. It's usually what I say when people ask that. Injustice 1 I know pretty well, and it had terrible balance. Injustice 1 Scorpion would make a great video. Really Scorpion. Next bad balance is going to be Vanilla Sagat and SF4. I've already scripted it, to be honest. I just haven't bothered to record it because I like making you guys suffer. Tau. What about Oob? Is Oob in the game? I'm Oob's only fan. Maybe. Maybe Oob sucks. Majin Buu skin? What the fuck? Like Kid Buu? Is Fat Buu in the game? I don't even know. I know Kid Buu's in the game because people meme about him. Alright, cool. Oob deserves so much better than what he got. How about Dabura? Is Dabura in the game? He's not, right? Do we like Dabura? I think he's cool. Wait, Hercule's not in the game? Mr. Satan? Holy shit, you're kidding me. He would be like the ultimate Dan character. If he's not in the game, I'm genuinely surprised. My favorite thing about him is he believes in his own hype. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks to himself, those guys were there when I beat Cell. Like, he does an inspiring speech, and it's, like, genuinely an inspiring speech, but also, like, he believes it just because he's saying it. It's funny. It's charming. Even if he's basically just fucking huffing his own farts. There's a lot of things I like about him. I love that he's like a genuinely good character with just like, you know, character flaws. But he's like a good person. What else do I like about him? There's something else. I like that he's legitimately one of the strongest humans. Obviously nowhere near fucking Krillin or Tenshinhan or whatever. But he's like a strong regular guy compared to like, you know, the main characters who are just like shonen strong. Hercule's playing by like the actual rules. He's like genuinely muscular. Genuine martial artist. It's just that he's not shonen bullshit. That's instantly charming to me. I wonder who the strongest like DBZ villain he could beat is, because I don't think he could like obviously he couldn't fight like Frieza or whatever, but like how far up could you go that he could win? Could he beat like Dragon Ball Tien? Could he beat Mercenary Tao? Do we know his power level? Did he ever get scoped? I'm talking about launch. I'm talking about first appearance Tien. Ugh. I love that micro walk. He didn't get it. The micro walk and anti-air close medium kick for the extra high juggle. Remember that scene in Dragon Ball Super where it was revealed that Yamcha was like the best baseball player? And everyone, the whole fan base was like, yes, a dub for Yamcha, finally. Like even the Yamcha guys and even the non-Yamcha guys were like, yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect that Yamcha would beat everyone in baseball. Imagine being Yamcha and you crush on a girl for years and years, and then an alien comes to your planet and kills you, and then you get brought back, and the alien like fucks the girl you had a crush on, and he doesn't even like her. Yamcha was unironically cooked.
Now, battle. Prepare to strike. Now. Are you ready? Go.
Ugh. What about Future Trunks? He's pretty badass. I like the Trunks as strong as shit. Remember super bulky Trunks with the really long hair? From like Cell Games or whatever? I don't remember when that was. I think it was around Cell Games.
You win. Now, battle. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Gains Trunks.
Prepare to strike. Now. You win. Now, battle. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
He's methodical, Trunks. Vegeta's like, let him try to hurt me. Goku's like, I want to fight him at his top form. Trunks isn't having any of that for any enemy.
Prepare to strike. Now.
Oh yes, the explanation is Toriyama actually can't draw.
You win. Now. Are you ready? Go.
Toriyama can draw 4 people.
Prepare to strike. Now.
The way this Ken uses low forward DP really makes me feel like he's confirming DP. That's it, those are the 4.
Now.
Oh, he parried multiple times and Yang just stopped. It's tricky. You still gotta punish. Yeah, that's true. All three of those characters are the same person. Trunks 17, Dragon Quest 11 Hero, and also Terry from Dragon Quest 6 is another one of those. Another of the same person.
You win. Are you ready? Go.
Piccolo doesn't count. Piccolo's a monster. Toriyama can draw a shitload of monsters. Toriyama's drawn monsters like you wouldn't believe. But he can only draw 4 people. Go on Google and search Nimzo Dragon Quest V, and you will see Piccolo.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Oh shit, I forgot I hadn't done that. Alright, I'll do that soon. I've been really lazy on that one, yeah. I've just, like, every time I play SF5, I just play as Zoro and just, you know. I'm focusing on myself and not other people who need those hashtag tips and tricks. No, I really did forget that I hadn't done that.
Win.
I forgot that was on the table.
Now. Fighters ready. Engage.
If there is anything that Toriyama is genuinely a master at, nice double DP combo, hard on twins, it's drawing monsters. Designing monsters. And that's like the whole appeal of the fucking Dragon Quest franchise. The monsters in Dragon Quest are fantastic.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Yeah, machines and vehicles as well. Yang players be like, I will do four reps of EX Rekka and still be safe.
You win.
Oh, it ended. I don't know if I want to do another. It's 6 a.m.